There are stories in sports that shine brighter than trophies. Stories that echo far beyond the box scores. Stories that move beyond wins and losses and carve their names into the hearts of those searching for something more. This is one of those stories. Jim Abbott is 57 now. His glove has long since been hung up, the roar of the crowd now a distant hum in the background of a life lived boldly. He hasn't thrown a pitch in over 25 years, but somehow, on this day, his presence feels as powerful as it did the moment he stepped onto a major league mound. Because on this day, Jim Abbott's voice quivers, not from nerves, not from weakness, but from the weight of reflection. The weight of purpose. The weight of knowing that his legacy isn't just about baseball. It's about possibility. It's about the power of difference. It's about being born without a right hand, and still, somehow, writing a story that could only be called miraculous. On July 13th, at 9 p.m., ESPN Films will unveil Southpaw, The Life and Legacy of Jim Abbott, a documentary that doesn't just tell the story of a baseball player, it tells the story of a human being who refused to let the world define him. It is a story that will reach kids watching for the first time, eyes wide, hearts open, discovering the man who once threw a no-hitter at Yankee Stadium with one hand. It will reach adults who remember where they were that day in 1993 when he made history, and who perhaps never quite forgot the tears they shed when it happened. And it will reach everyone in between, because Jim Abbott's story belongs to all of us. I've been the subject of very kind pieces for a while, Abbott admits. His tone is humble, his gratitude palpable. But I was touched when ESPN Films wanted to do this, and dig deeply as they did. This wasn't about highlighting stats. This wasn't about reliving just the highlights. This was about journey, about pain, about identity, about rising up. Abbott opens his home in Southern California to the cameras. He sits at his kitchen table, no stadium lights, no spotlight, just quiet, as letters are read aloud. Handwritten, from children who saw themselves in him. From children who didn't, but found strength in his story. Letters from kids born with differences. Letters from those fighting invisible battles. Letters from those who had no hope, until they saw Jim Abbott take the mound and realized, maybe I can do something, too. And it isn't just letters. The film tracks down those same kids, now adults, who carry the echoes of Abbott's legacy in their daily lives. Who stand stronger because of what he did. Who say, clearly and emotionally, thank you. Jim Abbott never asked to be a symbol. He never sought to be anyone's hero. He just wanted to play baseball. He wanted to compete, to pitch, to do what he loved. But life had other plans. And now, decades later, he's beginning to understand what that really meant. It's incredibly rewarding, he says. You can hear the lump in his throat. Not out of pride, but out of awe. Awe that a kid from Flint, Michigan, with one hand, who used to get stared at, questioned, doubted, could be the one to make others feel seen. This documentary is more than a biography. It's a mirror. A mirror held up to a world that often tells people what they can't do. And in that mirror stands Jim Abbott, saying, yes, you can. He didn't just pitch. He inspired. He didn't just succeed. He transformed. When he took the mound, he held the glove on the end of his right arm, a method he taught himself, a technique so fluid it became invisible. What people once saw as a limitation vanished. What remained was greatness. He won 87 games in the majors. He competed for Team USA in the Olympics. He played for the Yankees. But the numbers never defined him. What defined him was courage. And now, through Southpaw, a new generation will meet that courage face to face. They'll hear from former teammates, from fans, from children whose lives were shaped by his strength. They'll hear the stories of schoolyards where kids found confidence because of him. Of hospital rooms where doctors pointed to his poster and said, look what's possible. They'll hear from parents who wept with joy, because someone like their child made it, not just as a player, but as a man. And maybe, just maybe, someone watching will choose to chase a dream they thought was out of reach. Maybe a kid who's never picked up a baseball will pick up courage instead. Maybe a parent who's scared about their child's future will find hope. Jim Abbott gave us all more than a game. He gave us proof. Proof that adversity is not destiny. Proof that difference is not defeat. Proof that if you keep showing up, if you keep trying, if you believe in your worth, miracles can happen. And maybe you'll even throw a no-hitter at Yankee Stadium. But even if you don't, you'll still matter. Because you are already enough. This is Jim Abbott's legacy. Not just the Southpaw who defied the odds, but the soul who reached across generations to say, you belong. He didn't just change baseball. He changed lives. And now, on July 13th, the world will watch. The world will remember. And the world will say, thank you, Jim.